Yeah, I think a lot of people are rejoicing again, as this whole series so far has been, you know, its own form of an anime show between the junglers, swapping these jungle picks, swapping these assassin picks even, if you will. And, you know, when you're thinking about it, it does set the momentum, it does set the pace of the game. But it looks like we are ready to go ahead and jump into the Land of Dawn here for the next game. It's a 1-1 right now. Game number 3 ahead of us. We'll see which of these teams, either Homeboys or NIP Flash, will pull ahead in this best of 5. Once again, with everything on the line here, the amazing prize pool at MSC 2024, and also the keys that we've been seeing getting crushed for the past days now. Look at this already, early aggression on JPL. He might have to get out of there.
One last hit is all
he holds on.
He needs, but JPL holds on to the flicker, holds on. He actually does pop the regen. So that's going to be a big resource in the early phase of the game if this poke continues. That's why I think every single time they go for the Xavier, they need something like a Grok, they need something like a Cho. They need a super fast clearer as a roamer to really make the Xavier work.
Here's the question, man. How do we feel about the side lane of Barrett's? I mean, for the longest time, he was just in the jungle. He's part of the utility pool of heroes. Now he's in the jungle against the Ruby.
For me, wait, Quad Shadow in on the Zorn, forced the flicker out. Hades looking for a play, Mystic Field catches him. Now the Shun Pull as well. Zorn gonna be caught with the first blood. Hades will have no more Quad Shadows to escape, and that's a trade. The jungler, Chibi, getting the kill over to Hades.
Okay, Chibi gets the early kill in terms of these jungles here, but of course Hades got one as well. So, you know, pretty relatively even, but good response there. And I'm actually surprised that Zorn's still able, even as low as he was. Okay, wings by wings. Gonna keep Kurt TZ okay. But again, I think this is really, just like we watched JPL in the previous game, you know, you're gonna have to really keep an eye on Zorn. Where is he initiating from? You know, where is he poking from? Where does he get the Way of Dragons off?
I mean, look at how oppressive the Xavier is in lane. Even without the Cho is nowhere near the mid lane. Up top already, Mystic Field, Zorn able to get the 2-man knock. The Shadow Kill comes through as well. Now Retribution, it's Hades who steals it from across the wall as a Feather Airstrike takes him low. Diablo in the chase up against Sunfire, brings him back, but he got the dash earlier. Diablo unable to get the kill even with the last shot. And now Chibi is waiting for a play, an assassination attempt, but unable to find the right angle. But to answer your question,
Barrett's in the side lane.
Barrett's in the side lane. I actually like the Barrett's in the side lane.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, you know, with this fight, brought to us by STC, the replay here, you know, for the most part, it was a good exchange, and the Barrett survives. You know, luckily he's able to get that little bit of a dash and escape death. And I think that's the thing I want to know for the Barrett's in the side lane, because we just don't see him too often, you know, in the current meta things. But we know that the Daytona's Welcome with the flicker can actually be a pretty good playmaker. And I think what we're seeing a lot of this exchange now is also the fact that Xavier with the Mystic Field paired up with the fact that, okay, when you lock someone down, of course you have Dawning Light, but it also sets things really well for Chibi to utilize a pick-off with the Fracture or just the burst potential. There's Daytona's Welcome.
Daytona's Welcome sets up for the Fracture of Diablo. Able to get the Don't Run Wolf King. Now Chibi on the chase. One last hit. And he is able to find Diablo under the turret. You're so good at catching people.
Yeah, you know? And that's the power of the lineup, too. And like, that's the thing. How many ultimates are actually available in the game that have this, like, global presence? Xavier is still, I would say, probably one of the best. I know you can argue like, oh, Spear of Destruction, and then you have
not as
Dawning
instant,
Light, but it's not as instant. And the threat there, Zorn goes in, checks things out. Mystic Field not gonna land either. If that would have landed, then they probably would have fallen up. Chibi's still waiting patiently for Kurt.
With the Fracture, now the Tiki Lethal Ignition. One last Tiki finds it. 3-0 Chibi on a killing spree.
He popped the regen. It wasn't enough.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that is why you have these power plays with the assassin picks, and why Nolan. It's crazy that it's such a good performance in this series because teams have struggled to make it work, and now Turtle for the taking. I don't think NIP Flash can do anything about it, and they're going to be zoned out, of course, from even showing up from this. Information was just given by Diablo, but with that, you know, nothing too crazy in terms of lead. Oh, Implosion.
Straight into the shove, back into the Feather Airstrike, and Hades will be able to take a kill there. He also has a Sky Piercer, so the stacks now racking up, but we can see this replay again. Ooh. Whew, that lethal ignition.
Tries, yeah. It tries as best as you can. You're not going to be able to escape that burst, especially early on. And all that Chibi has is a Hunter Strike. You know, that's all that's online right now. Of course, the Sky Piercer was locked in early on for Hades. Hasn't even finished the level 2 boots yet. We'll go ahead and continue on building up that Hayabusa. But Zorn,
this time with the JPO with the Way of the Dragon, straight into the damage. Dawning Light to catch him from outer range. No, a chase down on the curtain tees. He opens the feathered airstrike. Oh, a good juke from Hades, but he gets caught in the Mystic Field. Actually is able to walk away. Good dodge from the Daytona's welcome.
yeah, good way to escape that. But again, if you're NIP Flash, how do you play around the fact that, yes, you can use Hades to find those pickoffs yourself, but you're playing sort of the tune to Homeboys right now, I'd say this early on, because of the Cho, like they talked about on the panelist segment. You know, he's just in a situation now where some people are like, man, the changes that happened for the Cho pick might affect him too negatively, but so far throughout the MSC, he's been doing really great.
He has been, man. I think all the shows really have been popping off in MSC, but JPO seems like he's planning for something. Sapat does have the death of his welcome, and that's why also, this is another reason why I like the Barats, right? Because you're good at catching people, you're good at setting up for ganks, but also you're really good at disengaging too. Whenever someone wants to go in, whether it be Diablo or JPL, pop the Daytona's welcome. You get the anti-CC, you deny the enemy team of a pick.
Yeah, pretty strong utility that it brings to the composition. And that's why, you know, we just haven't seen it too often, and that's why I like to see teams like this play Homeboys and NIP Flash, where they bring this dynamic to their compositions, and they make it work so far. Next turtle up for the taking, though. It's just going to be started up by Homeboys so quickly. I don't think NIP Flash can do anything. That's just deleted off the map so fast. And this is really the tempo that we've been talking about all up to this point now on day 2 of the knockouts, man, is the tempo that's set up by the teams here. It really just depends on who gets that going first. Again, Implosion.
Good shove with the Implosion, but Nets able to purify out of it. Feather airstrike dealing with him. Zorn going to be taken down as JPL gets traded in, but now Hades back and forth with the Quad Shadow. Udil doing so much damage, so much poke. Onto the back of Dawning Light too. They're all so low, but the missiles doesn't find its mark. Unable to bring anyone back, but Homeboys are happy just with the poke alone. They got a tier 1.
Just with the poke, and that was also a Wishing Lantern now picked up, and you know, this works so well with the Xavier. I think this is why a lot of people like to go ahead pick Xavier, is the fact that Wishing Lantern, it's so easy to proc that.
Oh, shadow kill onto the assassin. Good move by Chibi, bringing him into the minion wave. Zorn, Way the Dragon, bringing Diablo back into the Mystic Field. 2 members caught under the Mystic Field. Diablo panicking, popped in. I'm offended, now flickering out. Zorn looking for a chase down to flicker forward at the Jikundo to knock him out in the back as Kurt Teasy gets caught. Wishing Lantern and the big chomp. Tretch would say nom 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 as he continues stomping on the ground on Hades and JPL, forcing an implosion. Phoenix caught in the Mystic Field. They can't go for any trades, and Zorn ends it all with the teammate. Udil from downtown finding a Dawning Light.
Homeboys in the Xavier again. Talk about the threat. Okay, GB goes in.
Desperate shadow kills Zorn. Finds the Way the Dragon, times it well, gets brought back into the feather airstrike, but it doesn't matter. Not to the TP King.
All right. That's a whole lot that has just happened. If we have an STC replay, I don't know what they're going to replay.
The whole 8 minutes.
The whole past few minutes here. And, you know, now you're at a point where you're almost 9 minutes in. Lord's now up. And so far, it's been difficult. So let's look at STC replay here. Boom. Okay, we get this. Zorn goes in. Talk about setup potential. So that's one Dawning Light. And in just a few seconds, you'll most likely see another if we still have this as the replay. But again, a great try to set this up. Implosion as well. And just when you think you're to the safety of your base, nah. Oh.
Mystic Field, remember, Chibi now with the Fracture Implosion catching him. Zaman Force Nets able to dish out some damage. Now Zorn is able to find the Way to Dragon on the Hades, but it's not enough damage just yet. 2 members taken down. Now the Shadow Kill into the Dawning Light. Everybody low, the Wishing Lantern getting rid of him, but Udil takes Hades out, making it a 3 for 3. Udil scouting every single bush he can. And so far, it's just going to be an equal trade.
Equal trade, I don't know, man. I know yesterday when we ended the day yesterday, if you take a look at the replay here, we were like, you know, that's the best series we've seen so far. But I got to say, as we go into this game 3, this has been a back and forth between Homeboys and NIP Flash, just like we see from this replay.
And why again, you know, the fact that Xavier is picked up now a lot, it's prioritized in a way where Udil just gets to go ahead and do this time and time again. You know, he's just got the Wishing Lantern and the Enchanted Talisman. That's it. And there's not enough defense just yet for NIP to flash to deal with this, so they might just have to watch this Lord get taken.
Zorn, Jiku, no, Detonus welcome on towards JPL, forcing him out of the skirmish. 3-man, I'm offended, but into the way the Dragon. Now JPL looking for the angle to go for the implosion. Unable to go for it, but Vanix takes the kill away. That's Sapat traded in, but it's a Lord for Homeboys.
Yeah, again, I guess the big value, as we just saw with the Barrett's pick, is you're kind of a wall. Like, who's going to go past the big dinosaur, especially when your enemy jungler is trying to get in position? Look at the damage dealt already. You know, for Udil, this is what we're talking about with the Xavier pick and the Wishing Lantern. But now NIP Flash will go ahead and find themselves on this defense. They should be able to clear this Lord okay. They're holding it together, but they are going to lose this tier 2 on the top. Not sure if Homeboys will be able to get much more, as, you know, they still have to kind of push that. Lord is now taken care of. BOD gets picked up by Hades. So NIP Flash still in a good position to actually turn things around here.
A really good position for Homeboys, I would say. I don't know about the turnaround, because sure, they do have ways to actually win this out, but again, it almost seems like for Homeboys, they are the ones that needed to go just equal. They just needed to match the pace of NIP Flash. As long as they didn't fall behind in the early game, they would have the late game because of the Xavier. And now that they've been able to dominate in the early game, getting into the mid game with all these power spikes hitting together, it just seems so tough for NIP Flash to look for a comeback here. I think it has to come through a big combo, but even then, you're gonna have to bait some of these purifies out first before you can go for those combos, right? JPL, these implosions, not easy to find with those purifies. Hades, up top. Zor's looking for a flickers forward way to try and lock him down straight into Chibi's fracture. Well played to Zorn. He knew not to give Hades a chance to outplay. He just flickered forward, kicked him in the face.
I guess it's just like Hades, like, you know, I gotta push where I can. I gotta try to get something for the team here, because, yeah, if they want to turn things around, it almost comes at the cost of Homeboys making a huge mistake, making a blunder at this point. Because if you're looking at it, Nets is 3-0-4. Udil has not died either. So those are the two main sources of these the burst damage that can come through. And then, of course, you have Chibi on the Nolan, but two Purifies you got to work through from Homeboys here. So for NIP Flash, I'm looking at how can they lock this in? How can they hopefully claw back into the game? And that might be part of it. Vanix does get him a lift roar. He's got a good damage. But honestly, it's just, I feel like it's more so Diablo and JPL's job. They have to be able to somehow, it's probably going to come to a base defense, you know, where they're at the base defense. Next Lord's eventually going to get taken here by Homeboys, and we're going to just kind of predict the future a little bit here. NIP Flash will have to go in for a defense. It'll be up to JPL to get a great implosion off. They might try to get into the zone here with a conceal play or something, but ultimately, I just feel like the firepower just isn't there yet for NIP Flash, and it might be better off if they're trying to do this from a defense stance in the base.
For NIP, it's really all about slowing the game down, but even then, if you slow the game down, these dawning lights will come crashing down on you. Hades still has the regen, so he's able to deal with that burst. But remember, as we close into the later stage of the game, Udil's just gonna have a 7-second cooldown on this dawning light. He learned the hard way in the match against Liquid Echo that, you know, you can really abuse the Xavier come the 13th minute, come your item power spikes.
Yeah, I feel like it's very close to that, as you can already see.
Forced to go in with I'm Offended on the spot, able to find a dancer's welcome, but it gets bursted down with the feather airstrike. There's Vanix, gets caught all alone inside of the Zaman Force.
Oh, Zorn. Zorn's on the hunt here. He already used the conceal. I'm not sure if they were able to actually see him there. Okay, they know. They've got eyes on him. But they're down at Vanix.
Oh, he
he dropped again. Yeah, get the flicker out. Zorn's still holding on to his and the way of the dragon here. They might be trying to force something from NIP Flash, force a response.
There you go. That's the I'm Offended catching Zorn. Still with the Sean Post, still has the way the dragon finds it on Cortese, but he's able to purify out to safety. JPL, no flicker to play with Chibi. Going to be able to lock him down. Diablo, whoa! Gets his HP bar absolutely deleted. The shadow kill from Hades as he's able to get out as well. But the dawning light there almost caught him. It still will be Homeboys with a way better trade there. It's 2 for 1, only losing Zorn now with the Enhanced Lord.
Yep, big trades there in favor of Homeboys. Winter Crown also being picked up here by Sapat. You can get ready for a forced initiation. He's pretty much nearly fully tanked up now that Winter's Crown is available to him. And really his only job is just to go in, get a Daytona's welcome off if he has to. But they should be full force for NIP Flash on this defense. They'll try to hold on to what they can. Base turrets all still available. Of course, no shields to work with. Dawning Light is going to be on a very low cooldown. Lord charges in. A couple hits away here. NIP Flash will have to have a defense of a lifetime against this power spike already showing from Homeboys. Lord Steel, Dawning Light once again, just keeping them at the base nearly. They're waiting for that next wave to push in here. Bottom isn't there just yet. Zorn though,
the conceal together with Chibi. JPL going to be caught on the smart missiles. Wait, the dragon bring it back into the fracture, and Implosion catches the Nolan, and now the shove back. Chibi going to be taken down as well as Zorn. Hades still able to escape. Vanix very low. One Dawning Light might be able to snipe them down, but it's not up just yet. Homeboys though, they were able to find a base turret. Curtiz, you know he's thinking about it. He's thinking about when the Dawning Light will come in, when he'll have the sidestep, but it's not up just yet. Udil cannot utilize it.
Oh, hold on. Nets is here. He's going to fight Diablo.
He has the Zaman Force, and he forces Diablo out, but I think the bait has already been done by NIP Flash, bringing Nets all the way there. Hades going to be very low. Forced to go out with a quad shadow. That's a pullback with I'm Offended that did not connect, but they don't even need it to connect. Vanix deals enough damage. As long as the Herod doesn't have Zaman Force, it's an easy kill.
Yeah, that's at the point, you know, when you're on this side for Nets, you just type takes 5. You know, at that point, because, yeah, I don't know. The way I look at it for NIP Flash, that was a pretty good defense given how far behind they were. Good. You know, they managed to hold on to the one turret in the bottom side. They punished Homeboys for that forced initiation, and it's bought themselves enough time because really when you're looking at it, now that they're locking in, you know, 3rd, 4th items here, and even for Hades, he's fully locked in. They just got to get some turrets, man. Then finally the tier 2 on the top goes down. This one in the mid lane should go down shortly as they push this wave in. They're going to pull him.
Winter Crown by Sabat, caught on the bad spot. JPL able to shove him back. Zorn looking for the flank. Hades doing the same onto Udil. Great assassination from Hades. As now Homeboys are on the back foot. 2 members taken out by the crazy angles of NIP Flash. Now Hades again with the quad shadow, but this time just trying to zone Chibi away from the jungle.
Don't tell me Homeboys is going to let this slip through their fingers. Again, they were so far ahead just minutes ago. And now that we're reaching this point, 17 minutes in, Lord's going to come up here. They're down 2 members for another 10 seconds. Chibi might try to get the information he needs, might try to pull something, a miracle off, but I think they can only just watch.
Shadow kill! Hades with a solo kill! The assassin assassinates the assassin. NIP Flash are truly ninjas in pajamas here as they continue on towards the Lord. 70 minutes, Dawning Light! If Hades used the retribution earlier, that would have been crazy. The Wishing Lantern almost forcing Hades to go for some crazy maneuvers there, but he's able to survive, able to retreat, and now we have the game fully turned around.
I'm not going to say it, but earlier I was like, let's predict the future. You know, NIP Flash was able to defend successfully their base, and now they've turned things in their favor. They have a Lord on the top side marching in. It's relatively pretty much even in terms of economy. And for NIP Flash right now, they are just outplaying and outmaneuvering Homeboys here. So fully locked in for Hades. Divine Glaive finally gets picked up by Udil. He's going to need that for these Dawning Lights to clear some of these waves and help with this defense right now. Hades could possibly put enough pressure himself alone into the base even before they push into these turrets. Conceal going to be used though. Chibi wants revenge. I don't think he's going to find it. Zorn will go ahead and force them out. Vanix is also half health. He's going to back off. Picks up a Hosclaws to heal back up. They're all waiting. They're managing these waves to push them in at the same time. Lord will now make its way top and get the charge in. Homeboys on the defense here.
Gonna be slammed in the backside there. Meanwhile, Hades in the bottom lane still going for the trade, able to get the base turret. So far, still worth it for NIP Flash as they're still looking for the Nolan. They can't find him, but they got 2 base turrets just based on that crazy play.
It's even. 1 turret each.
What do you think? I mean, like, Homeboys, they got a kill, but they lost 2 base turrets. That, you know, proactiveness was on Homeboys, and the capitalization was on NIP Flash.
Man, I don't know. I feel like this whole series I've been on the edge of my seat for this one because it's always these assassin picks too. I know they've traded this time around. You know, we have this just a back and forth between the both teams, and now we get into territory, Mirko, where it's like, all right, we've got some immortalities. We're going to have some more winter crowns. We might even see the juggling of those items start to happen here as we get to this point. Trex asked for it, man. He wanted a longer game. Well, Trex, have they delivered? Because now we are nearing the 20-minute mark. That next Lord is up in about 40 seconds, so that will be the crucial one. As we've seen for a lot of these games in there, you'll see it, Curtizi now picking up the Winter's Crown himself. Sapat also has it. And, I mean, there's multiple. There's 4 locked in, 2 for both teams right now. So more defensive items being picked up, too. And that's the thing, man. They're always going to have to deal with these 10-second dawning lights from Homeboys.
If he's at full stacks, I believe it's 11 seconds, right? So if he's not at full stacks, I think it will be a bit longer. We'll see how Homeboys utilize this, because the last few minutes, it does feel like, especially after NIP Flash, got those base turrets down, Udal's been a bit more safe when it comes down to using the Dawning Light, because one thing that the Dawning Light does is, all right, obviously deal damage. The other thing is it reveals where you are technically.
Yeah.
So for Hades, he's been able to utilize that to scout wherever Udal is. When you spam those Dawning Lights, it gives Hades information, and we saw that one time that Hades was able to get that. It was Udal slain. Nothing you could do about it. Now he does have a winter crown, so he should be able to say something about it, but still not much if no one is there to follow him up or to help him.
Yeah, he can buy a little more time with it, basically, that Winter's Crown. That's really where that's going to come. But look at the placing here by Homeboys. They might just be looking for
For a possibility to get the numbers advantage. And that's something that both teams have to worry about, honestly. As they go ahead, neither team wants to commit to the Lord because of just what's possible. Conceal going to be used.
Wait, the Dragon 2, Chibi able to steal it away. Now Zorn all the way in the front, caught Lycan, pounce though from Vanek. Sapat trying to go for the pickup, but unable to do so. Now JPL pops in an implosion. That's good. That's who's welcome to locked in down. Diablo going to be taken down as Chibi locks him. Double kill for Homeboys. 2 members down for NIP Flash.
When I'm looking at that, I feel like, oh, hold on, Hades might put enough pressure. They know the Lord hurts. They could possibly stall this out a little bit longer, but they're also at a huge risk here if they go for it. I think they're going to be too late.
Way too late. Oh, Mystic Field catching Vanek. Zorn with the chase down, but the Dawning Light will be the last resource that Homeboys spend here around the Lord. It's an Evolved Lord in the 22nd minute of the game. They have 2 base turrets down, but they'll be able to actually manage the 3-lane push into NIP Flash's base.
Now this is where the difficult decision comes. Do we do a full force defense? Do we possibly go for a side push? Can we actually put pressure utilizing the Hades on this Hayabusa, or do we get ready for a full 5-man defense because of what's coming here? This Lord is going to take some time to deal with as they hold on to that bottom base turret. But this is one beefy Lord as it approaches the base. You got to watch out for Zorn as well. Multiple immortalities. Zorn going to go in on the front side.
Look at Vanek's losing almost all of his HP. Diablo with the I'm offended, unable to catch it. Zorn with the way the Dragon knocking Hades down. That's still doing some damage. Chibi getting rid of Vanex now with a double kill. Looking for more. It is going to be Homeboys winning out of the skirmish despite Hades locking a few of their members down. The base is wide open. Sapat flickers back to stomp on it as they secure match point.
Again, a great game of back